Time it is, man. 7 o'clock on the dot. I need a crack rock.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Woo!
Finally. It's been 21 days.
It's been too long, man.
21 Savage.
I even had to, I had to meet up with Weezy and make a fake episode.
Just supplemental episode, as you said.
Supplemental episode. You like that?
I liked it. I'm gonna start making supplemental episodes on my own.
Yeah. Hey, I reference you a lot in the show, and I even reference how, because I had a smoke break and we did and we're back, and I was like, it's not the same.
It would have been even more special if we went. All right.
Oh yeah.
Came back.
I think I started the episode with that actually. No, I did it. We're back. No.
Oh, you did it. We're back.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't back. It was only you.
That's right. But now we're really back.
We're back after a 2-week hiatus. 3 weeks. This would have been 3 weeks.
This is the 3rd week. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we get ready for a 3-hour episode.
Right, 3 hour. We're back. We're full of energy. We're not going to be straggling like.
Well, I've been drinking, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get.
It's like until we get just to...
Until Leslie gives you that call.
Right. No, I actually told her today, I said, hey, when I'm recording, don't text me.
Until Leslie goes that...
Hold on, my mouse is calling. No, I told her, I was like, don't text me. Because you can hear the buzz in the episode, and it annoys me. It's like, it's faint, so if you can...
even better.
I was like, if you can find the faint buzz in the background of the past few episodes...
That's your ass.
I was like...
That's funny. Yeah. Well, okay, cool. Well, let me turn my phone off, so we don't think that...
Right. No, well, I just gotta say, honestly, a guy came up to me at work today, and he said, hey, are you David Clare? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, hey, somebody put me onto your show... And I gotta say, you guys are very funny. I was like, oh, wow, thanks. Some dude I never met before complimented our show. So the word's starting to get out a little bit at work about our podcast. So
is that for real?
I'm being pinky promise, I swear. I'm looking you dead in the eyes. Yeah. It's like, no.
Somebody... It's funny because, me and David talk shop a little bit before an episode. We usually let out most of the stuff that we were talking about. So this was not one of them. So this is a genuine response from the teacher.
Like, definitely wanted to let you know on the show. Just because we're talking... Oh, by the way, can you pull up the Facebook page on the iPad? Yeah. Because we have our first shout-out alert.
Oh, that's right.
It's like... so that's going to be pretty dope. We have a brand new super fan. We have Danny... who wanted us to shout her out today, which we definitely will. But yeah, so it was...
Okay, we'll have both of us read it, and you pick who you want to read the shout-outs from.
Oh, you want to... Oh, yeah, yeah, multiple, right? All right.
No. I'm saying we'll both read the shout-out, and then our fan can pick whose was better.
No, okay. So, I read it first? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Danny, her shout-out says, Danny, you are better than your husband Abel, and he's whipped... like a motherfucker. That's... Abel, you hear that? You're whipped like a motherfucker.
That's just David talking to you, Abel, at that point. Alright, so I'm going to read now. Okay. Shout out. Danny is better than her husband, Abel, and he's whipped like a motherfucker. Oh, sorry. Mofo.
Oh, okay.
Literally, mofo. Oh,
you should have seen his face.
How does do you watch Friends?
I love Friends.
How does
Whoopa?
Yeah, whoop.
Chandler?
Whoopa?
What the hell was that, Chandler? It was a whip because no whip. Guess what I did? Whoopa!
I'm glad you know that because
I love that reference.
So Danny, appreciate your enthusiasm and thank you for your support and continue listening.
Appreciate the feedback.
I love getting the 20 notifications in a
row.
Do you get them too, right?
I got them because I was
if I check it, it doesn't go off for you, right?
No, it still registers for me too because that's when So Danny and Abel were going to be our sponsors. So he messaged me. He goes, "Hey, if we give you $20, well, we could be your sponsors." And I was like, "What?" And that's when I messaged you. But then I was watching the AFC Championship, the Jaguars versus Patriots. So then it took me a while to get back to them. Took me a while to get back to you, and they were just being stupid. And I was like, "We can't bring money into this show. It'll tear us apart."
You can buy us microphones.
Right? I was Googling those today, but
they're expensive.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking insane. Expensive. But yeah, so I got on Facebook when he finally. I'm just kidding. I was just being stupid. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, me too," sweating and crying.
Cruel.
Right?
It's cruel.
And then I saw I had 20. It said 20+ in the top, and I was like, "Who? What the?" And I was like, "Who's Danny?" Because I know who Abel is. I know he's married, but I never knew her name. And I was like, "Oh, this is Abel's wife." I was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, then he was telling me about how you got super wrapped up in the show. Appreciate your compliments.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
So,
yeah, send us. You got a bad day or something. Let us know. Let's talk about it. We might not agree with you, but it'll be on this podcast.
It'll be here.
Yeah.
So just take it lightheartedly.
All right. Well, speaking of fans, I don't know if he wants to be anonymous or if he cares. Our other listener that likes to email us
I say we could just go through these questions. We got a fan email with some questions. We're going to rapid fire here real quick.
Yeah. So I'm going to give my 2 cents about these questions, sir. If you listen. They're
we got to remember too. He said in the email.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm going to say though. It's it says you'll either fucking hate me because they're what the fuck questions, or be stoked, or I think he says or both or something. Yeah, why not both? Well, I fucking hate you, and I'm stoked because I appreciate your support, and I'm glad you listen, and we are glad to discuss whatever anyone sends to us. So we are, but I really have no bearing on these questions. They're just so out there and kind of a waste of time kind of questions. but I mean, I think it'll be fun to just kind of. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna spend too much time on them. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna. We'll both give our opinion, and then if that's it, because I don't really care. Okay, ready? So, how far back do bald people wash their faces? I'd say an inch above their eyebrows.
An inch above their. I say they just knock it all out in the shower.
No, okay. They gotta. See, I didn't think about that. That's great. Yep, you're right. All right. Does Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. wink or blink?
Blink.
Yeah, and if you were to say he winked, I'd say you're correct too. He winks and he blinks, and he's the only thing that does both. So good for him. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
I think it is. I think it's meat and bread. I would call it a sandwich. If you don't want to call it a sandwich, though, I'm mad at you. Okay. All right. What color does a Smurf turn when it's hanged? A darker blue, I guess.
Purple.
Yeah, purple. Sure. I like that. If you pinch yourself and it hurts, are you really weak or really strong? Pinching is just uncomfortable. So
I say you're really strong.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's uncomfortable. So either way, even a weak and or strong pinch is just uncomfortable. So if someone says don't listen to me, do you listen to them?
Hell yeah, I do.
I listen to them that initial command, and then I continue to not listen to them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you say?
I just said okay.
Oh.
I said no. I listen because then it's probably saying they're going to talk shit about me. So I'm like.
Oh, okay. I like that too. Like you're already thinking of what the context of the conversation.
Because I go like, okay, I'm not going to listen. My ear kind of amplifies.
I'm literally thinking of just sort of like, don't listen to me. Like don't listen to me. Go get me a sandwich. Like I don't know. Like okay, I'm not gonna listen. I'm gonna do that response, and I'm not gonna listen to anything else. Okay, that one took a little longer. Okay, I guess the other are pretty good. If a bar of soap falls on the floor, does it clean the floor or does the soap get dirty? This is interesting because I actually think the soap gets dirty.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I was like, because whatever trash is on the floor, that's now on the soap. And if we're talking about like body soap, then you're putting that dirt all over you.
I mean, the floor is way more vast than the soap, so
it
has a lot more dirt than the soap could help. Okay. Is the color orange named after the fruit, or is the fruit named after the color? I have no idea.
And I was like, that's like what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
It's like, that one's tough. I would say, I guess.
I'd have to look up, like, language.
Yeah. But I guess if we're going just on a whim, I would say the name is from the color. So the fruit got the name from the color. Because the color orange had to originate first to say, this fruit is orange.
Yeah. Well, and other languages don't have the same name.
Well, yeah, that is true.
And orange. So, I guess, yeah, it probably was called orange because of the color. So, the color came first. Okay, why are both of SpongeBob's parents round like sea sponges while he is square like a kitchen sponge?
That one, I'm going to say it's a kid's show. It's like,
yeah,
nothing makes sense in a kid's show.
Yeah. I always thought about watching SpongeBob, and he is a sponge, and then when you learned about sea sponges, they always were that round kind of like. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like it's the parents were older, so they were the traditional sea sponge versus SpongeBob was younger, and he's like the kitchen sponge that kids know about. So there's my 2 cents. Yeah. He says do. I think he meant to say, does Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the alphabet song have the same tune? Yes, they do. Yeah, and that's a proven thing.
There's another song too that has the same beat.
Yeah, well, it's Mozart. Mozart actually wrote this
because he put to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Or what was the question again?
Does Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the alphabet song have the same tune?
Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, A B C D E F G.
Yeah. Well, it's Mozart, and he wrote it's like just a passage that we used. So he didn't write that for the alphabet or for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We just used them both. Other languages do it too. So so yeah, it wasn't for any specific alphabet. So yes, they do.
I could do it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8,
Yeah.
10, 11,
well,
12,
and then
4.
Korean's Kana Dala Mabasa Aja Taka Tapa. So and who knows which was first, right? So
right.
English or Korean. So Mozart didn't care about either one. Okay. Why does a round pizza come in a square box? And to go a step further, why are they cut in triangles?
Right.
Right? You know why? Because boxes are they're just more economically easy to manufacture as a box.
Oh, really?
To cut out. Yeah. It's harder to do a circle with cardboard. I mean, because you have to do edges. So it's easier for the cardboard. I was going to say, why geometry. Is the pizza round? The pizza's round because it's easier for dough to throw it up or to kind of roll out into a circle versus a square. Mm-hmm. And why are they cut in triangles? Because, again, it's just easier to cut straight across a circle and you end up with your squares. So
geometry.
Now it's geometry. And now you know that. And you can tell everyone you learned something from the teach and David Winkler. Why does Goofy stand erect? While Pluto remains on all fours. Whoa! They're both dogs.
Because Pluto is a slave.
Yeah.
Gorsh!
It's what is the? I just posted that fucking song from the Goofy movie. Did you watch Goofy movie?
Yes, I've seen the Goofy movie.
What's the song they play at the end?
I can't remember the name of it.
I just posted it, and it's called like fuck.
It's from that weird singer. It's like
I love it though.
He dresses like a spaceman.
And then they try to remake it with like white people, and it was horrible because like the guy's supposed to be black, obviously, like in the cartoon, and like and there's like no rhythm in the white. Anyways, why is Goofy stand erect? I don't know. Disney was a shithead, so maybe that was his way of being racist. I don't know. Like,
being racist, making the black dog stand, making the tan dog a slave.
Yeah,
I don't know. Animal cruelty is wrong.
Yeah. Either way, I mean,
PETA.
Why is I don't know. That's a good one. I have no idea why. I think it was just I'd attribute that to its cartoon. So
right.
Goofy was already. I guess we'd have to look at what came first. Probably Goofy as a character. Yeah. And then as they split off in like their own fucking lives, Pluto came along as like the dog, right? So
maybe he's just never evolved.
Maybe Disney's just trying to say there were those who are leashed and those who wear the collar.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. So thank you for your questions. You got to hear me weirdly laugh like Goofy. That was fun.
Gorsh! I like that Vine where it's all like, wake me up, I can't wake up.
That's funny. My dad used to do that laugh, and he does it way better than me. I can never do it like him. He's really funny with it too. I might have to get a video. I'll upload it to our site if I ever get to do it.
Teach his dad's goofy laugh.
Yeah.
And then I like, and I don't know, like every time I always like, Mickey.
Oh yeah, Mickey's is good.
I don't know what you're talking about, huh?
Just too much Drawn Together.
Dude, Drawn Together was such a weird ass show.
I love that show, man.
Oh, the show is so ugly.
Oh,
Watching it as an adult, I was like, I used to watch this as a kid.
Yeah, I
like,
had to say it was on Hulu. I don't know
it was. That's when I rewatched it.
Oh, it is so bad.
What was his name? Captain Hero? Or whatever his fucking name was?
Foxy Brown. Oh,
their fucking nipples always protruding.
Oh, it was so bad. That
princess chick was hot. I thought she was fucking hot as a kid. I
liked them both, and Foxy.
And Foxy? Nah, man. That princess, I would be like, oh, what's this funny tingling sensation?
Foxy was kinky, though. But I
hate the Betty Boop character.
She was the funniest one to me.
She was so ugly. And Tara Strong did her voice, if I'm not mistaken. Same girl that did the voice of Bubbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the Powerpuff Girls.
I could hear that. You know, Ling Ling? You know, he speaks it's bullshit. It's just gibberish.
Yeah, I figured.
As a kid, I didn't know that. I didn't realize. I really thought that was an Asian. I thought it was like Japanese or something because he was supposed to be Pokemon. It wasn't until like now that I like look up, I was like, what was Ling Ling talking? And it was like, it's gibberish the whole fucking time. There used to be one. It'll come to me later in the episode. I'll interject it, but I can't think of what it was like.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah, so that was a good 16 minutes right there.
That's pretty good.
Quality content. So
yeah, keep it coming. Always send your emails to Who Cares Podcast, all one word, 210 the numbers at gmail.com. That's Who Cares Podcast 210 at gmail.com.
Excuse me. And now you can leave your reviews on iTunes. And we could definitely read shit off of there. We have 5 stars still on iTunes.
You uploaded everything, right?
Except for episode 13.
Just the last. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
so
12.
Yeah, 1 through 12 are on iTunes.
This is 14.
This is 14 right now. Yeah. We're 1 away from 15.
Yeah.
So
I got out of the shower or something, and Mrs. Teach it was late. It was like 1 a.m. or something, and Mrs. Teach was laying there listening to our podcast, and I was like, is that our podcast? And she's like, yeah, I just want to go to sleep. And I was like, it was funny because for me, I'm like, if I'm listening, I can't go to sleep. But for her, she's, and it was like episode 7 or something. And I was like, oh, David did some work because it was only 3 at the time. So
yeah, I put in some overtime doing that, and that's because that's what I was doing all of that while I was uploading 13 to YouTube. And then when 13 finally posted, and then I was waiting for everything to refresh, I was like, okay, I'm done. Mm. And then I just haven't logged back onto the computer to do more work. So I was like, okay. But yeah, so people have gone out there and rated our show 5 stars on iTunes. So not gonna lie, I forcibly made Leslie rate us 5 stars on iTunes because
I rated us 5 stars too.
I rated us 5 stars too. Yeah. So that's 3 right there. So then there's probably 2 more rates. Too, okay. Sure. So there's one mysterious fan out there that's giving
Thank you kindly. Mm-hmm. Keep them coming.
And because I think last we left off, I said I was getting promoted, and I got promoted to MCR3. And last week and this week, which is possibly last week I was sick, and partly I went to go see our theme song producer Jay Frenzy. He was opening up for a DJ at Lush. So, went to go see him open up. It's pretty cool. Jay Frenzy! And so, and then also I've been waking up at 6 o'clock these past couple weeks because training's 8 to 4:30. Mm. And so it's just kind of like, fuck, like, I'm dying. Like
6 o'clock?
Because I got to give this guy a ride. So I got to pick him up and we go to work. But,
that's cool.
Yeah, being nice deed at the past 2 weeks, but whatever. Mm. So yeah, and then my trainer for property is actually a big fan of the show. Shout out Z on that one.
Oh, is he your trainer over there?
Yeah, he's my trainer, and
funny. He was at CSG, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a supervisor at Qualphone and went over to where I'm at now and nationwide, and yeah. And then it's funny because we're doing little icebreaker things or whatever, right? And one of them was what's something you do to relax? And this chick in the class is all, oh, I listen to podcasts. And then Z, he goes, oh, I listen to podcasts too. I listen to this one called Who Cares? And I'm sitting in my chair and I'm just kind of like, okay, that's funny. He's saying a podcast. And then he's all like, so they're on iTunes, YouTube. And he goes, and I think if you make it to iTunes, I think you're making it big. He goes, when did you guys say that? And the class was like, yeah, I guess, yeah. And then someone's all like, yeah, if you're on iTunes, you make money off of it. And that's when I was like, no, you don't. I was like, no, I'm the one he's talking about. No, you don't.
I heard it's like, if you have thousands of
it's
views or listens, that's when you start making
we have advertisements and shit. You make $1 for a whole year. And you're all, oh. How are me and Teach going to split this?
That's funny. I don't know if Z remembers me too much, but I remember him coaching. When we're newbies and he's walking around and kind of helping. And he was also, sometimes you get people that are like, "Fuck, why are they here?" Because I don't want to ask them, because they're gonna get irate or they're gonna be kind of condescending or whatever. But Z was cool because he always was like,
"What's up, Teach?"
Yeah, he'd just be like, "Oh, put them on hold and." So you want to show them this and show them this. Did they ask this? And if they didn't, we'll let them know about this. And so you always felt really oh, cool. That's whenever he was, walking the floor, I'm like, oh, cool. Z's on the floor,
Go to him.
Yeah. So that's cool. I remember you, dude, and appreciate you listening. So
right,
it's cool.
And and today as I was leaving, the same girl that said she listens to podcasts, she was like, hey, what's the name of your podcast again? Told her, I was like, Who Cares? David Clare and the Teach. It's on iTunes. She's like, okay, I'm going to subscribe to it right now and I'm going to listen to it. Don't disappoint me. And I'm like, well, you're going to be disappointed. It's not amazing. So
I have met people at random parties and it comes up very organically because I am really not one to promote this. In my everyday, it really just came up and it was like, whatever. And I was like, oh, I actually do a podcast on iTunes, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't know, some kid was like, oh, we got to drive back and blah, 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 right? But I always forget what exactly we're called. I know our podcast is called Who Cares? But you know what's funny is that, here's the thing, I've been telling people it's Who Cares with David Wayne Clare.
Oh, you're saying my full name.
That, because I went to YouTube myself. Every time I see on Facebook where it's like, oh, the new episode's coming up. And I'm like, I don't listen to it on Facebook. I go to YouTube and pull it up. And I'll type in Who Cares David Wayne Clare. And it's like, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is nothing coming up? And then I realized it's David Clare and the Teach. And so this whole time that the few that I have told, I've given them David Wayne Clare. So I'm sure they're not finding it. Because... So there's that. So I don't know what our fucking podcast is called.
I was like, I've been thinking about changing my thing to DC3 because I'm just like, it's just shorter. It's like
DC3.
Who cares with DC3 and the Teach?
David Clare.
You can call me DC3. I was like,
you know what? That might help.
I was like,
I would remember that better. Although
DC3.
I do have it down now. It's David Clare and the Teach.
Honestly, the easiest way, and it sounds fucked up. It's like because I'm not trying to steal any spotlight. I just searched David Clare. And it pops up.
Because it's a more specific name. Yeah, which is fine with me. I listen to this podcast sometimes, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm anonymous because here's the thing is that I might be teaching the next couple years, legit teaching, and high school kids, and I'm like, if this is on iTunes, all I have to do is look it up.
Right.
That would not be good. You're Mr. Teach likes fucking anal sex porn, and,
he eats
that would be
ass
horrible. That would just be horrible. So I'm glad I am completely honest with this.
That's kind of the downfall of my thing is because I would love to I love having my name associated with this, but then I remember some of the things we talk about. Yeah. And I'm like, I talk about jerking off a lot.
Yeah.
And my fiance's cousin is listening to me talk about jerking off, and I'm pretty sure I talked about having sex on here, and it's like, that's my baby cousin, and
yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my dick has been in some places.
Exactly.
If any of my family and in-laws listen,
it's a little easier for me. I would not see if my name was attached to it completely. I would not be able to talk.
This show wouldn't be.
I would be a lot more tame about it because I would be thinking about that the whole time. I could just hear my father. That's the thing. It's like even when I say it now, but I'm anonymous, but I still can just. I almost said my name right now because the way my dad said, I was about to say it the way he said
Teach.
it. Yeah. Teach full, like, you know, because I go by a nickname kind of, but I have a full name. Yeah, the Teach. You know, I can just hear him just give me the business about like
the business.
It's just out there, you know, and you know, blah blah blah. Who can listen? Do you realize what could happen if your employer heard this and they and he's an employer too. He's like, the first thing I did was look up her name, and if that came up, you would not be. You know, I could just fucking hear him ranting about it. Hey, how about that video about Slayer though?
Dude, so thank you. That's actually something I want to talk about.
Oh, by the way,
fucking Slayer!
It just happened. All right. just a tidbit.
Describe a typical Slayer fan. Slayer fan. A typical. A guy just would literally out of nowhere just yell Slayer. You know, go.
I did think about you though.
Well, no, that's how Slayer fans are. I've seen Slayer in concert, and tidbit, Slayer just announced their farewell tour. They're coming to Austin. I just bought my ticket. I'm going to go see Slayer in June, which is on a Wednesday. Well, actually, now we're recording on Tuesdays. So,
good to go.
So yeah, so Wednesday, I'm going to be seeing Slayer! And I saw Slayer here in San Antonio a couple years ago, which, damn, it's already been so long. And before Slayer came out, that's how the people were walking around, because they're a big metal band, and they were the main act. Literally, people were at like the bar getting drinks, people were at the food stands, and just walking around, people were just going, fucking Slayer! Slayer! And they're all in their Slayer shirts. I mean, I was wearing a Slayer shirt too, but I was like, God damn, like, it's an inside joke with metalheads. Slayer! Slayer! Because they're like the frat boys of fucking metal music. They're like the Dave Matthews Band
really
of metal.
Analogy.
So it's like
Slayer fans, yeah.
Slayer! Slayer!
They're like fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, it's
and that's
crazy.
the point. That's the point. Yeah.
I was like, but
so, by the way, if you follow the page, we're both admins on it. So, I think I've been posting a little more frequently, but you post a lot too. But I always think of something. It's actually, you know, what's funny. My system of posting on this page is actually, I find it funny, but I don't want to put it on my page. So I post it to this page.
Hey, that's fine. Hey, yeah.
That's my outlet.
I was like, I want this page to be like a meme page that promotes our podcast and stuff like that.
I like a lot of like the darker memes too, but I won't even like them because I know that I have like a plethora of friends and family blocked from every post. Like it's already, you know, have you done that? Like as soon as I start typing a post, they're already considered blocked, right?
Nice.
Like it's just already, because it's, you know, just family. Like I just don't want to see the filth that I'm into.
Post it on the page.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
But even that's pretty tame too, because I have other people that, you know, whatever. But the ones like the masturbation kit that was funny.
I cracked up.
Because I'm like, I'm not gonna post that on my page. But
you put like our next episode is sponsored by masturbation.
I always think it's because I listen to podcasts all day, and I think I've said this before, but they always have the sponsors where those, you know, you can tell that they cut that day's worth, and there's like this pre-recorded, and it's always Squarespace, Casper mattress, Blue Apron, but they're all, and it's the same commercial, but just different people because it's a different podcast. But hey, let me talk to you about Blue Apron. If you like to cook and you want to download cooking, but you don't want to go to the grocery store, get you a Blue Apron subscription. You know, every time. So I always think like it'd be funny if we did like a masturbation kit. Hey, you don't want any mess, and you want a full ghost experience. Like if there's someone else in the room with you, get you a masturbation kit with a glove and sit in your arm for 30 minutes and get it done.
Masturbation kit.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Slayer!
It's fucking Slayer! That's great.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
So yeah, I'm gonna see Slayer in
It's
June.
that time of the podcast
It's time for the teacher's smoke break. That was
That's
perfect.
pretty harmonized. And we're back.
And we're back.
All right, actually, I want you to try one of these potato chips.
What are they?
They're potato chips.
I need to know the flavor.
Well, I want you to tell me what the flavor is.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think you'll not like them.
I do bad at these types of things.
Okay.
So if I react negatively,
That's okay.
You've brought this upon yourself.
Right, sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a bite. This is like a.
Do you like it? He finished the chip.
I finished the chip. Let me get one more.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be something gross.
No.
And then I'm gonna cry.
So these are Korean chips. They are Korean chips. And I had these in Korea when I went there last year. And I loved them. I fucking loved them. And in Korea, and then even her family realized how much I loved them. They would buy them for me when I would go to each family's place.
Uh-huh.
So I liked them so much. And then when we came back, I would go to the Korean store to look for them, and they never had them. And because we're like we don't get the Korean stuff till like a year later. So we went to the Korean store the other day, and they had them there. And I bought like 5 bags of them because I love them so much.
So let me say this. So the sweet, the taste is a little bit sweet and salty.
Yeah.
It has a strange aftertaste. While I'm eating it, it doesn't taste weird.
Mm-hmm.
After I swallow it, and I'm like kind of, okay, it has kind of a weird taste in the back of my mouth.
Yeah.
So what's the flavor?
The flavor is honey butter.
Honey butter?
Honey butter.
That's not strange.
And the thing is that now that you know what it is, it's honey butter, right? You can taste it now, like honey butter.
That's not too bad.
And the interesting thing is that
Don't gross me out now.
no. The interesting thing is that I don't think I would like honey butter on my potatoes, but I really do like these honey butter potato chips.
These are not bad.
And I don't know if you ever had the honey butter Pringle sticks. We have those. We have the Pringles makes breadsticks. Those like really thin like breadsticks, and they have a honey butter one that I love. But I would never have thought to put that in potatoes. Even Pringle was like, for Americans, we're not going to put those in our potato chips. We're going to make breadsticks and put them
Honey butter.
Honey butter.
Okay.
And I didn't want to give you any, because you're a picky eater. So I'm
a very picky eater.
I didn't want to give you any context before this.
And that's why I was honestly scared you were going to say like seaweed lobster or something like that. Because let me tell you this, I'm pretty sure I've said the story before, but like, because when I'm set in my ways when it's things I eat and everything, I don't really like trying new things. So when because I had this one friend in high school that was so adamant on me loving coffee, and that she was destined to find the perfect Starbucks specifically, not just coffee, Starbucks. She was destined to find something on the Starbucks menu other than hot chocolate that I would like. So
what about the vanilla bean?
Nope.
Oh, really?
I was like, no, don't like
vanilla bean shake. It's a vanilla. It's freaking
I was
ice cream
like,
shake.
I've had quite a bit of different drink combinations on the Starbucks menu. Just can't do it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can still taste the coffee in it, regardless of how much sugar and shit they
You
put
know what I'm
inside
talking
of
about?
it.
The vanilla bean shake, though. It has no coffee in it. It's just vanilla bean.
I was like, I've had some like vanilla bean cappuccino
Coffee.
thing.
No,
like,
they have a vanilla. Well, they used to, maybe not anymore, but they have a vanilla bean like frappuccino that has no coffee.
I was
in it.
like, see, but the fact that it says frappuccino in it is what's going to put me off of it. So
see, that's why I didn't want to tell you the name because I'm like,
see, yeah, because you know me. So it's like, she had this drink. She goes, David, taste this. It does not taste like coffee. Da 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 da. So I try it and I'm like, hey, wow, this is good. This is actually really good. And she had just like a little bit left, and I slurped it down because she was like, you can have the rest. And I was like, what was this? I actually really enjoyed this. I'm not going to tell you the name. Well, why not? I'm not going to tell you the name. Well, what's in it? Because I also don't like healthy food. And I don't, so she goes, I'm not going to tell you the name. I was like, just tell me the fucking name of the drink. I was like, maybe I can go get some after school. I was like, who knows? She goes, it's da-da-da-da, soybean latte, da-da-da. I was like, did you say soy?
oh my.
And she said, yes. And I know it's in my head because I liked the drink. I liked the taste. But as soon as she said soy, my stomach just went boom.
What the fuck?
And I went to the bathroom, and I'm not kidding, I threw up because it was a soy drink. I all because
You're fucking extra.
I was like, I'm set in my ways. That's why I was like, don't tell me it's something like fucking.
So to be honest, yeah, a lot of green chips are really weird. And usually it's like shrimp flavored or like, and when it's shrimp flavored, that means that it's really like rank shrimp. Like, you know, it's got a really shrimpy, fishy taste to it. And Koreans love them, and I'm cool with them too when I'm drinking. I don't usually like them when I'm sober though, but if I'm drinking, but these chips are different. I mean, I and that's why I thought I would not give you a shrimp chip because I'm like you probably throw up.
I probably would have tasted that right away and be like, dude, I gotta
But I thought honey butter and potato chips. Although you don't like potatoes,
I was like,
but
I'm actually starting to eat a lot more mashed potatoes now.
But do you like chips in general?
I like chips.
Oh, okay.
Preferably barbecue. That's kind of my go-to flavor. But...
And see, so they're kind of sweet. Barbecue chips are kind of sweet. They got that little tang to them. It has a little bit of tang, but it's more buttery than...
I was like, and also, I like limon chips.
They make my mouth raw.
Yeah, I was like, they cut a motherfucker up. I can't do salt and vinegar, though. Salt and vinegar is just, like, too kabang, like, right in my mouth.
I have to be if I'm eating a sandwich, I like them, but I can't eat them by themselves.
It's like original, barbecue, lemon.
I love potato chips just in general, and original's my favorite. Ruffled, the
Ruffles?
Yeah. Ruffles have ridges.
Or H-E-B's version, wavy.
Oh, well, yeah, that's actually what I buy too.
Waves.
Yeah. So yeah, honey butter and Korean chips.
No,
There's something David likes that are foreign. Good for him.
I'm gonna try one more.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give you a shrimp chip or like a bulgogi or like a weird Korean.
No, I appreciate you. Those are not half bad.
You're not half bad. No.
So, yay, new things.
Alright.
So
that was all a ruse. I put the chips way past the iPad I'm sitting in front of to make David not know that I was going to make him eat one.
Right.
And we're going to start with something else, and I threw that in front of him. But what we really want to talk about...
So, we were just hanging out. Because guy from Glee killed himself. Get it?
Oh,
hanging
that's
out.
Terrible. Oh my! Is that how he did it?
I don't know, but I was like, hopefully he did, and then that just makes my joke perfect. So here's the thing. So
terrible.
His name is Ryan Saling, something. I may have fucked up his first name anyway, but so the guy that played Puck on Glee.
Pucksaurus Rex.
I never watched Glee. I watched like
Glee.
one episode.
I liked it a lot.
I don't like acapella and like covers and shit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
I hated the show forever. I thought it was I was like, this is so... I used to see all the stuff on the internet about how shitty it was because it's like, it's the same rinse and repeat method every show. They take one song, another song, mash it up, and then they make the episode fit that mashup, right? Mm-hmm. But then I just started getting into it and I watched it and I fucking love the show. Right. I liked Glee, yeah.
Couldn't get to it. They ruined Journey. I was like, man, I was like,
those are my favorite ones.
I was like, they just fucking, and then like, side note real quick, because the first time I saw Journey in concert, my ex-girlfriend from high school took me and she goes, oh, they sang the song on Glee, da-da-da. I have the Glee versions on my phone, and I'm like, fuck you, because
we're done.
It's fucking Journey. Like, you shouldn't be listening to the Glee version, because we're watching the real fucking version.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you. But anyway, so Puck killed himself today because he was awaiting his sentencing for being caught with child pornography. 50,000 pictures of child pornography on his home computer. 50,000 pictures.
And that's interesting because he played a high school. You know.
It's so weird. Child porn. Little kids taking dick. Put little kids taking dick. Like, that's what Puck was into. It's like, what the fuck? And then the funny thing is that some people were all, rest in peace. Oh, sweet angel. And then people were so quick, fuck him. He liked child porn. Da-da-da-da-da. And then somebody, the thing that made me laugh the most was like, oh, Finn and Puck are gone. Rest in peace, Corey Monteith, and what's his face? And then, how dare you put Corey Monteith's name in the same idea as Puck? Fuck him.
They're both kind of degenerates.
I was like, rest in hell. And this and that. Ryan Shalling.
Ugh.
So it's like, kind of what we were talking about with Charles Manson. Do we say rest in peace to someone who did something ugly?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I actually, I don't know. I think Charles Manson and Puck. I'm gonna call him Puck.
I was like, now granted, Charles Manson is way worse in comparison.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, it's just disgusting what Puck was doing. It's like two different spectrum, I know, two different ends, but it's like,
yeah. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy to have like it's because it's so embarrassing too.
Yeah,
like, you know, and the whole content because even Charles Manson was like he was out front about it.
Yeah. Versus
this guy, I guess, you know, being suicidal, it actually shows a sense of like he knew he was doing something wrong, so that's kind of sad too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. God. No, I mean, but
like, who can? I just can't imagine who can get off on kids.
Right.
It's like that's so weird.
I mean, he either needed to die or live his life in jail. So.
It's like, well, I mean, and you hear those kind of stories, like, you know, people that go to jail that do anything negative with kids, they usually get really bad punishment in prison. They're like, oh, I did this.
So like, he kind of got off easy.
And I was like, so he was probably going to have Bubba butt fucking him. Oh, is this what you watch the kids do? And he's like, who's going through puberty now? Like that, like... It's like, fucking... Yeah, I'm god-awful.
I mean, I guess it's not the saddest thing.
That's what it's like, a child pornographer dying? Like,
right,
is that...
Right. It's not the saddest thing. The only thing is that I love Puck's character on the show, though. Like, he was a cool character on the show. That's what sucks, is that... And that's the thing, though, actually, is that you can't associate the character with the person. Mm-hmm. His person was totally different from his character.
Now, mind you, we're saying Puck because we don't know his real name. So
right, I don't. Like, I only know him as Puck because I liked his character. Mm-hmm. And that, so I think that's what's hard for me is associating, because I did like the show Glee, and I did like his character, and I think of, when I'm thinking of this person, I'm thinking of Puck. And that wasn't Puck, though. It was, you know, this person that was a horrible, degenerate person. That, like, yeah.
No.
So
Puck watched wheelchair porn because of the little fucker in the wheelchair. Right?
Was that an episode?
No, I was like, because wasn't there a character that was in a wheelchair?
It was a guy. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He watched wheelchair porn.
It was a horrible joke.
I was like, yeah.
No.
Boo, David, boo. But, no, I say fuck him. Who cares? So I was like, he's starting Glee. So.
I'd have to agree at this point. Again, the twin descendants I have is for Puck, but he wasn't Puck. I mean, that was his character. So, yeah.
I
can't deny that.
So, don't rest in peace.
It's one less child pornographer in the world. So,
but 50,000... Let alone, not only is it 50,000 pictures of child porn, it's 50,000 pictures of porn in general. It's like, I don't even think I've looked at 50,000 pictures of porn. I don't even think I've watched 50,000 videos of porn. And he had 50,000 pictures on his computer.
You know what I never get with pedophiles is, I mean, I look at porn, right? Mm-hmm. And I look at plenty of unsatisfying porn at that. Like, and unsavory porn and all that, sure. I mean, I look at porn that I would never want anyone to know. Not child porn, but, you know, it's legal porn and all that, but it's just... even with that, though, I am very careful to not leave any remnant of proof of that.
Yeah, I
don't get why pedophiles, where it's illegal, you can get in a lot of trouble. Why keep it
in the most obvious places?
Why would you save? I don't know. I mean, good that you saved so we knew, but like, why? Where does that come from?
Tax files, 1994. It's like, what's in this folder? Click.
Like, did you want to be caught? I don't know. Like,
I was like, yeah. I was like, I wait till I'm home alone. I still plug in headphones.
Yeah,
and I'm still going to in private mode, because I'm just like that paranoid of like I'm not getting caught watching porn. I've just been so conditioned since being a horny little teenager living with my parents.
Yeah, you leave no evidence of that. So
it's like
that makes him even fucking crazier and sicker because they save that.
He's
shit.
all oh, save this for the spank bank.
It's insane.
It's like
Jared too. Jared from Subway. What the fuck?
Fucking Jared Bogle.
That was
the last name. Also too, because he was in that South Park, the Fractured But Whole game, the most recent South Park video game that came out. He's a boss. He got a beat, and he has a sandwich, and he's like, "Get over here, little boy," and he's saying like creepy things, and like he hits you with the sandwich and the sprays mayonnaise. He's like, oh, and like it's bad. Like
it's pretty bad.
It's like because they're not controlled by Comedy Central. It's their own video game. They can make it as raunchy and shit as they want. So that's what makes it like.
And it's already pretty raunchy.
It's bad.
I mean, the show is pretty raunchy as it is.
What they can get away with on Comedy Central is already outstanding, but it's like in their own realm, perfect.
That's
so
crazy.
10 out of 10 game would play again.
That's crazy. So, I had wanted to talk about Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah. And you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot of stuff. I know each episode is like something completely different.
It's an
like you can watch any episode. It's kind of like a Twilight Zone type thing.
Although if you do watch it pretty like linearly, like in order, it does have some sense to it.
Okay.
But you don't have to. That's
the first time I've heard that it actually.
Well, there's this aspect of it's in the future, and you don't know how far in the future though. As far as where I'm at, I'm on season 3, I think. But they do have this thing. The recurring thing now is that there's this aspect of that you're hooked up, like you have basically like internet on you all the time. Like not with your phone though. Like there's like a chip in you, like, and you can like still shot what you're seeing. Like right now, everyone has this little remote that you can like still shot it, and that's like saved, and you can pull it up later, or you can record just from watching. Like, and your eyes turn gray is the thing too. Is like, and if you're rewatching something just on your eyes, you don't have to watch on a TV. You can just watch it here. Their eyes turn like this opaque, kind of like gray, or they're watching or whatever. So that's the thing though. That although if you did watch any episode, you don't need any of that context. But you'll notice if you do watch it in order that comes up a lot.
Okay.
It's a great show. I am really in love with it, and I didn't expect to. Did you ever watch Twilight Zone?
A few episodes.
A little bit. I mean, you got the concept of Twilight Zone where that was really breaking age of its time. You know, it's kind of dated now. You know, obviously it's so old, so it's kind of hard to get into. But it's really brilliant. If a few of them for the time, it's like really makes you think about. You know, like certain aspects of the country at the time, or the social aspects and this and that. Black Mirror to me is that now. It's like the modern Twilight Zone. I loved Twilight Zone. I used to stay up. They always show. I don't know if they still do, but on Sci-Fi.
Oh, they show a lot of Twilight Zone.
On New Year's
Day, I'm not too sure.
On New Year's Eve, they'll play I think there's like 20 seasons or 10 or 20 seasons, and each one of them have like 20 episodes, and they'll just play them
nonstop.
Yeah. For the whole New Year's Day. It's kind of like A Christmas Story, you know. For
TBS.
For Sci-Fi, it's on New Year's, and they play, but it's all different episodes, and they play all the things. So I used to stay up, I mean, my childhood, me and my cousin would try to stay up and watch them all. We had our favorites and this and that. So Black Mirror is like the new Twilight Zone to me, and it's just so clever. It's so clever, and it's tragic. The only thing is that it's so tragic. Every episode ends in tragedy.
Oh, wow.
For the most part. And it's in a sense of tragedy that it's like cry porn a little bit because you kind of like it. You like feeling that way because, you know, we're so desensitized, I feel like. And you really feel for these people. And to be able to do that in an hour, and it's an anthology where, I mean, it's not like you watch this character for a season and like Game of Thrones, right?
Oh.
There's that aspect of like you get to love a character, and then when they die, there's that tragic.
No.
Yeah, but these episodes, I mean, within the hour, you get to know and love these characters, and something tragic happens, and you still feel. I mean, that's really amazing to me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
In that amount of time. And a lot of I feel like a lot of it has to be with. See, I wish you watched it because it would be a little bit different. But
I have to. I've heard a lot of good things, and honestly, and I know in this most recent season, there's apparently like an episode that kind of is like a TV show that kind of looks like Star Trek from back in the day.
Actually, that's season 3.
It's season 3.
And I actually just watched that one.
So one of the chicks that's in that episode is Christina Milioti. And I've seen her on Broadway. She was in a show called Once. It's this musical, and she was also in The Wolf of Wall Street. She was Leonardo DiCaprio's Kristen Milioti. She was the mom on How I Met Your Mother. She was Ted Mosby's wife.
I never watched that.
Well, congratulations, it's now ruined. But she was a Broadway actress. She was in Once. I saw her on Broadway while she was still in that show. No, let me see. Let me type it. It's Milioti. Milioti.
Oh.
Yeah, so let me... So... Christy Melody. Let me see. It's gonna Kristen Melody. It was like she was in that episode, and I think that chick is so fucking hot, dude. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, the big eyes.
Yes, she's made one-off appearances on like TV. Like she was on 30 Rock. You know, she's done little like kind of cameos and stuff, and a lot of people really don't remember her, but I fucking remember her. When I saw her on Broadway, holy shit!
You should watch. It's season 4, episode 1. And the only reason I know that, I'm not that big of a nerd of it, like I know, it's only because for some reason I was watching season 3 and there's 6 episodes and I watched like the 3rd episode and the next time I went, I had finished it and turned it off, and the next time I went to watch my Netflix on my iPad, it started season 4, episode 1. Okay. And then like 20 minutes into it, I realized season 4, I didn't finish season 3, but I'd already started it, so I kind of wanted to finish it. So that's why I know it's season 4, episode 1.
With her?
With her. And it's the Star Trek kind of...
That's what I'm saying. I was like, and just remember seeing her in previews in that outfit. I was like...
So that's... Okay, so that whole thing, what I told you already, what they have it... There's another aspect that's a recurring theme now, too, is where they're able to... So you can opt, like in this whatever world it is, and who knows if they all are the same. It's obvious, like, it could be any type of universe they want it to be. But there's this recurring aspect that you can get your consciousness copied digitally. And so obviously it's just a digital copy, but it's you though. It's everything that makes you, like your personality and this and that. But it's just digital. So it's not really a person, but it's you, but it's digital. And so in one episode they use it. It's not the same one. In one episode, so this she's like kind of rich or whatever. It's like the smart home. She wants her smart home taken care of, but the smart home aspects don't know exactly what she likes because it's not her. So what she does is she gets a copy of her person, because that person obviously it's her technically knows how she wants it. And so she controls like the mainframe for all the house things, like how she wants her toast, how she wants the lights in the morning, the temperature of the bed, the temperature, smart home, right? The aspect though that comes tragic about it is that person, even though it's digital, it's still her. And so, how do I explain it without watching the episode? The person's controlling the mainframe, this digital copy, but it still has a person's thoughts. So she feels trapped. So she feels this aspect of like loneliness and being trapped and having to work like being a slave basically. But because it's not really a person and because the real you is actually benefiting from it, is that a big deal? Right? Like, well, this person is like going crazy controlling the house only because that's her only purpose. But at the same time, she like hates her. This little person that's digital copy is like feeling loathing and despair and tragedy controlling us because that's all she does all day, every day. And she can't sleep because she's digital. She can't eat. She can't take a shit. Like all the little pleasures we take for granted, she can't even enjoy. And as a copy of a person, she misses though. But who cares, right? But then it's like, it starts getting really philosophical because it's like, we've become these like crazy gods that like, for these little digital copies. I know it's getting kind of out there. No, it's not. It's like, I've heard so many good things about the show. It's just a matter of like sitting down and watching it. Saying it because it sounds... If you watch it though, you could really feel the...
No, I understand. Like there's a lot of things out there that's like really hard to explain. Yeah. Like when people would try to explain, like you've tried to explain Game of Thrones to me before I watched it, I'm like, dude, this is all...
Yeah,
because there's so many concepts that are going in, on one thing. Like it's hard. Because I remember like when I got season 3 and I was watching it at my parents' house and my dad was like, well, what is this show? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, well, that's Jamie. And I was like, the big blonde chick, she's actually Captain Phasma in Star Wars. Yeah. And I was like, she's protecting him, but really she hates him. I was like, they
kind of love each other.
I was like, but they get really close and they're starting to get close in this season, Dad. And they're starting to protect each other. I was like, but they're on the run because Lady Stark told them. So I was like, Dad, I was like, no, you just watch.
It's funny because I remember when I first watched it, Game of Thrones, the first season, the thing is that every episode ends on such a cliffhanger. That's what keeps you watching. Because I remember being in the middle being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's so much going on. But the end ends in a good way where you're like, well, fuck, I need to see what happens with them. I know them now. And I remember when I first watched it, and now I'm rewatching it with Mrs. Teach. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing the same thing where she's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, that's Stannis Baratheon. He's the brother of the first king, so he's technically righteous heir of the king because they think his kids are bastards. And she's like, okay. And then, like, you don't see him for a season or something.
Yeah, he doesn't come out to season 2.
That's Stannis Baratheon. And she's like, who? Like, it's hard to...
And that's the one that's gay, right?
No, Stannis is the older one. That's Robb. Robb Baratheon was the gay one.
The one that got killed by the thing?
Okay. By Stannis' bastard demon kid. Yeah. Which, that was hard to explain, too, because she's like, Stannis. I know Stannis. I'm like, Stannis Baratheon! So, I mean, all those, and then Dorne, right? And explaining where all the, King's Landing is still Westeros, but it's like the capital.
Yeah, it's like...
And the North is the North, but then the people beyond the wall, they're the North.
Yeah, I was like, they're the true North.
And they call the North the Southerners because they're south of them. And she's just like, what? And but the thing is, I'm like, I know what you're thinking because I was there too. Like, yeah. It just kind of makes sense after the fact.
It's funny because there's an episode of that show Blackish that I'm behind a couple episodes, but
I heard that's really good.
It's fucking funny, dude. Yeah. So I'm gonna say this, and it's not to come off any type of way, but 90% of it is hilarious, regardless of what color you are. But since it's an all black cast for the most part, they portray the white guys in the office, like where Anthony Anderson works, like totally oblivious to like black struggle and this kind of thing, which is funny in its own sense. That's kind of the point. It's poking fun at it, but there are a little bit of times where it gets a little bit of preachy, where it's kind of like, oh, okay, they're really. No, I don't want to say shoving it down your throat because I know they're using that platform to really explain history, which is amazing. But I guess it's because that sense is like I don't relate to that aspect of it. It does get a little bit...
I listened to the podcast to read that talks a lot about Blackish, so I know a lot about it, even though I've never watched it. But it is also an aspect that every every show that usually is full white cast has that token black person that acts the same way. And that's their kind of way of just flipping it on its head.
Exactly. Yeah. But, I commend the show because it's hilarious because Anthony Anderson's boss, because he has this boss who is like a rich white guy, and he's always like, I'm rich, I don't, so what black problem do you have today? And like, he tells that to to Dre, who's the main character, and they talk about it and stuff, and there's this other white guy in the office that
Wait, interesting enough, that actor, the main actor, he got in trouble for having sex with a 14-year-old too.
Anthony Anderson?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, he was in jail for a while for it, actually. Yeah.
No, I remember. I haven't heard that, but dang.
Yep.
But
so should he have killed himself too?
Yeah, right. Fucking hanging around. Yeah. But no. Ah, damn. Where was I going? Oh, so Anthony Anderson's character, because they have their second oldest kid, Junior. He's a big nerd. He likes dressing, he likes being stylish and stuff, but he's a huge nerd. Mm-hmm. And so he's really into Game of Thrones, and there's episodes where he walks around speaking Dothraki and everything like that. And so there's an episode where the mom's like, you need to connect with Junior, because, our oldest daughter's going to college now. Junior's going to be the next one. You got to spend time with him while he's here. So then he's like, fine, I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. So he finally watches Game of Thrones with his son, and then he gets really into it. And then it's funny because when Junior's talking to the other kids, he goes, Dad's getting really into Game of Thrones. He's starting to wake me up in the middle of the night. And it cuts to a little scene where Junior's asleep and Anthony Anderson has a red flashlight, and he wakes him up and goes, how dare you not warn me about the red wedding? He goes, it was a bloodbath. And I was like, that's how I felt with the red wedding. I was like, damn you, Teach.
Yeah.
This is fucking terrible.
Well, no, you finished it, though, before we started talking about it. You had just finished that scene.
Well, yeah, but it's like, because I've always heard so much, and of course you're not spoiling it for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how dare you not prepare me for the heartbreak?
You know what sucks with Mrs. Teach, spoiler alert, 20 seconds past this if you don't want to ruin the first season.
Right.
But, Ned Stark gets his head chopped off the last episode of the season, and I had gotten to the season. I think we were like on episode 8, and I was excited though to share like the Game of Thrones kind of stuff. So there's a Saturday Night Live skit with Jon Snow. Have you seen it? Where he's at a dinner party with like normal, like it's like in our time, but Jon Snow's at this dinner party, and everyone, they're like at dinner, like it's a dinner party, so they're like, oh, my dad took me to the Alps, to go ski, and John, I'm a bastard. It's like super dark. Winter's coming, like, and they're like, oh, do you not talk to your dad? Like, my father had his head chopped off, and the thing is, we didn't finish the episode, the season, so. Mr. Teach was like, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's right. Like, it totally gave away. That was a big part of the season. Because that was really the first time you realized that no one is safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry. Because she was like, yeah, I thought, you think Ned Stark's going to be a big part of the show.
He's going to be the main hero.
He's going to be the main hero, and then, bam, he dies. So the Red Wedding, though, she kind of had an idea, though, because she was like, now, actually, what did she say now? She says, who is it? I can't remember who it was. She's like, if they die, I'm done. I'm fucking done. But,
Rob Stark and,
No, because we're past that. Actually, I have all 5 seasons now. So, are you waiting for 4?
I need season 4.
Okay, I have season 4. I think we're finishing it right now. So, as soon as you finish that, you can borrow
Please, yes. Oh, my God.
And then when we're done with 5, you can borrow
Oh, my God, yes.
What was I going to say? Oh, okay. Oh, we haven't... Oh, okay. Let me not... I was
like, okay. I was
totally about to ruin it.
Because this one, no. I was like, I don't need any spoilers.
I'll just say... I think the last episode of season 4 was pretty important. But here's the thing: is that I used to watch it on HBO. Mm-hmm. I had a friend's account that it got all fucked up or whatever. I can't get on it again now, and it'll save your spot when you leave, and then it'll start the next episode. We have DVDs now, so you have to remember. Yeah, and I was drunk, and Mr. Teach was not really paying attention. So we finished season 9, and I didn't realize we didn't finish... we finished episode 9 of season 4. We didn't watch episode 10, the last one, which is always really important for the last season. Of course. We put on episode 1 of 5, and something really important was missed. And then she kind of knew what happened, so it was like, fuck, that's another one. It was so important.
We jumped ahead.
Yeah. So, no. What is going on right now? I just forgot.
We went from Glee to Game of Thrones.
No, was it even Glee? It was Black Mirror.
Well, we went from Black Mirror to, we talked about the Twilight, Glee.
You know what? It was Glee, but then we were finished with that, and I brought up Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, then.
And then shows. There's an aspect of Black Mirror, and this is what I would ask. I just wasn't sure.
Oh, because you were talking about the consciousness being...
Yeah. So there's an episode of Black Mirror where... in this universe, and again, we can speculate of how that doesn't work or how it could work or whatever, but the point is that in this universe it does work. Right. You can upload your consciousness when you die into this cloud, and then in this episode they call it a cloud, and it's kind of like the iCloud, right? That's kind of the illusion of it. Where it's kind of just like heaven, and it's the understood heaven, but it's still virtual. Like, it's still like, it's not real, and there's still this aspect of you can't really feel it anymore. Like, because when you're the youngest aspect of you, you're most prime or whatever, and you meet all these other people that are prime, but you all know y'all are dead, and you all know that this is not really your body, so it kind of, right, it's kind of ash in your mouth a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. But it still does work. So the point was in the episode is like, what do you pick? Do you pick door number 1 that you know is fake, or do you pick the unknown? I was just interested in what you would say. And
what I would say?
Or, just anyone.
So, yeah, so let us know what you would pick. But as for me, as for David Clare, I would say I would have to pick the unknown. It's like, because it sounds strange, but without getting super deep, but it's like, that's where I'm kind of like, when I make my jokes like, oh, I'm ready to die, like I can die today and I'd be happy. I want to know what's beyond there. You know what I mean? I always have that Now, this isn't something that I just believe in. This is just something that I just default to and think. But I don't really, like, vocalize it a lot or really, like, put it into words. I just think when you die, like, as soon as you die, not you yourself, like, I'm not saying when I die, my soul and stuff is going to go into a different body. I just think when you die, that's it for you. But then, like, when somebody else is born... Like, whoever's born at that exact moment, somewhere in the world, that's just... Like, you just start a new life, but you don't have any memories from... Like, I like, if, say, I die right now, you know, hopefully not in this room, but I die right now, a baby's born in, like, Canada or South America or, you know, whatever. Baby's born, that's a brand new person, it's a brand new life, picking up, you know, example, January 31st, 2018, that's his birthday. It's a brand new life. That's your new life, but it's not you, your conscience, your soul. It's just a new person being born. You're like, I don't know. That's just what I think of. Like, kind of reincarnation, but not you yourself being reincarnated.
There's a concept of Buddhism that says it has that aspect of the way life works, where the way you say, like, when you die and the baby's born, and the relation they make is like, if you light a match in the fire, right? There's a fire on that match. And if you use that fire to light another match, that flame on another match is not the same flame as the first match, but it started from that. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's that aspect. That's kind of the understanding of, like, this fire is not the same as the first fire, but it started from that. It's like this continuing, or like a wave. Another thing is a wave in the ocean, where one wave opens and crests and falls, but the momentum of it creates the next wave.
See, that's what I think. And that's what I'm excited to see is, like...
Or nothing.
Yeah, I was like, once you're dead, you're dead.
Or nothing.
I was like...
I was very conflicted, because I was thinking about this myself, as one does when watching Black Mirror. Mm-hmm. And I thought, ideally, with my chosen path of spirituality, I would pick the unknown, ideally, because apparently... There's this enlightenment that goes above all of this reincarnation, all that, where you were completely enlightened and totally free of all samsara and all this earthly stuff. Not heaven per se, not bliss, but total just understanding. And at the same time, I'm like, realistically, to teach, I kind of always go for what's known. So if I know there's a pretty little spot in heaven I can upload myself, I think I would do that. Realistically? Ideally, no. Realistically, yes. And the thing is they conflict. It depends on my mood at the time. And it's just, in the show, it's a split-second thing, because once you have to pick when you die. Right when you die, do you upload or do you not?
Right.
Because there's only moments that you have to do that, you know. So, I don't know. I don't know where I sit with that. Right. I have no idea.
But you know what?
Who cares?
Who cares? It's like... That's all it boils down to. So let us know what you're going to do when you die. So
yeah, if you watch Black Mirror, I would love to...
Definitely give us your input.
Yeah.
And if you guys really want me to watch it, fucking bug me about it. So
yeah, make it watch. It's a good fucking show, though.
I was like, you're not the only one. A lot of people are saying it, like, it's really good and it really makes you think.
Here's the thing. I get it, because we all have our fucking Netflix shows that we just like to watch. Even if we've seen them.
I started watching Stranger Things.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No, Leslie is, so again, this is me being very petty. So, me and Leslie were going to watch it. We got into a really big fight. And she watched it in one whole night.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, it was like replaying episode 1. I guess it like had started from the menu or whatever.
That's a lot of episodes.
So I was like, she was very mad, but got really into the show. So her anger and love for the show just kept her up. So I was like, did you watch the whole season? Or at the time, did you watch the whole show without me? She goes... Yeah, and I was like, wow. So I was like, I'm not watching this fucking show. Because that was going to be our show. Like, we were going to start it together. So I was like, no, I'm not going to watch this show. When we went to Comic-Con that year, the little brats from the show were there. And I'm all at the stupid panel. I was like, man, fuck this little bitch. Like, fuck 11. Fuck her stupid outfit. Like, I was like, man. And then the kids, Dustin and Lucas, the little black boy, and the kid with the mouth. And I was just like... Man, fuck that kid. I can't even understand what he's saying. Fuck this kid. Like, man, fuck these guys. So Leslie was like, finally, so I was like, finally, fine. You talked me into it, I'll watch it. I don't like it. It's boring. I think it's overhyped. I was like... I agree with you. The character I like is the cop, Hopper. I was like, he's pretty cool.
He's bitter.
I was like, but he was in End of Watch. Have you seen End of Watch? With Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. It's a good cop movie, by the way. It's really good tearjerker. But so the guy that plays Hopper, he was in this movie, End of Watch, and he was like a dick. He played a real asshole cop. Like, I just remember one scene where like they were like, oh yeah, like you gotta watch the crime scene now, and I gotta stand out here. And he's kind of like, man, fuck you guys. And they're like, oh, I hope you brought your nice shoes, bitch. And they're all like, kind of talking shit, right? That's not word for word what they're saying, but it's kind of, he's just kind of like, fuck you. And he's lighting a cigar. And
this isn't the others.
Yeah, this is an End of Watch, not Stranger Things. But yeah, Stranger Things, I'm just like, 11's annoying.
To be honest, the end of me and Mrs. Cheech got really into Stranger Things at the beginning. We're like, oh, this is cool. And I love like 80s retro stuff. Like,
I like the soundtrack,
which
cool.
I feel like our generation is into that for some reason. We just think that's cool. I don't know why, but we all seem to think that the 80s are the best time or whatever. So, and it played on that a little bit. But then towards the end, I kind of felt like, okay, you're playing on it too much. And to me, it did get kind of boring. Towards the end of the first season of Stranger Things, I was like, me and Miss Cheech both were like, we're kind of unsatisfied. We're like, that was good. Like, I can't complain, but I wasn't really that into it, right?
Yeah, I was like...
I wasn't. And the second season is better. It's good. It's a solid show to watch, and it's enjoyable. It's overhyped. I agree that it's overhyped. It's not the best fucking thing. I would much rather watch Black Mirror. I think that's a way more clever show. See,
and because that's how I am with these kind of things. So when The Dark Knight came out, that Batman movie with Heath Ledger as the Joker,
okay.
This is the most unpopular opinion that I've ever said. That movie fucking sucked. That movie was garbage. I didn't
right the fuck out.
I was like, I didn't like it, and I. It took me 4 years to finally see it, from when it came out to when I finally saw it. Finally watched it, and I was like, this is it. And here's what makes it unpopular. I think people only like that movie because Heath Ledger killed himself right before the movie came out. And because apparently, and this is what baffles me, because I'm an actor, and because I studied film, I've studied acting. Just because you went a little crazy getting into a character doesn't make it a great performance.
Did he kill himself before or right after it came out?
He killed himself right around that time when The Dark Knight...
I think it was
It could be right before or right after.
Yeah, I think it was right after.
He killed himself around that time.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why people like it, is because it was his last movie, his last big movie. Everybody felt obliged to fucking like it, because it's like, who's not going to like a movie that the dude
killed himself?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a solid movie. It was one of my favorite movies, to be honest. Now, the aspect of Heath Ledger's role in it to me was not anything spectacular. And
it was not. He was just a Joker.
Now the thing is I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great movie. Like, I would say it's a great movie, but Heath Ledger's role is not the best. So that's unpopular. But
that's my main thing.
I'll give you that, but it was a good movie. It made sense. It was clever. It had some plot twists.
Well, I'm not saying it had like plot holes or nothing. It didn't blow me away.
You're the type that, like, you'll like something, but if your mind tells you not to, you'll decide it's disgusting.
Well, no,
so, I kind of feel like this is going on with that movie.
No, it's
a good movie, but you've decided that you don't want to like it.
No, I don't like this one. I like Batman Begins. And I like The Dark Knight Rises, the one where he fights Bane. I liked both of those movies. I like Christopher Nolan as a director. He's a fantastic director. Christian Bale is an okay Batman. I just, with The Dark Knight, just didn't blow me away. Like, if I had to rank the Dark Knight trilogy...
that's fine. But you say that you don't like the movie.
I don't like that movie. I just didn't think that one was good. I didn't really like...
So it did not blow you away, or you don't like it's a bad movie?
Like, when I watched it, I was like, lame.
What was there?
The action was better in the other two movies. I was like, the Joker was boring.
That's not a solid argument.
I'm not trying to argue it. This is just my opinion. I was like...
You're wrong.
Action was better in the other two. I was like, the villain felt better in the other two. With... Graza Ghul, whatever his fate, Liam Neeson, and then Bane, which I love Tom Hardy. When Tom Hardy was spectacular as Bane, didn't really like.
It was a Scarecrow, the first one, actually.
I was like, yeah, it was like, but didn't really like Bane, because Bane is Russian, and I like his mask and the things. I was like, so I wish he had that.
You know,
But-
Mrs. Teach couldn't understand him the whole time. So, like, she couldn't... her English is spot on, but she has she cannot hear accents. Like,
really?
She's fluent in English, like, big time, but as soon as you throw an accent, like, even Game of Thrones, you have to watch it with subtitles.
Oh, really?
She can't understand, like, an English accent. It
Oh,
sounds
wow.
way too, like, it takes her too long. You know, watching someone talk in an English accent, after a while, she'll, like, the time it takes for her to realize the sentence, she said they're moved on, you know what I mean? Because they speak it so quick.
Yeah.
So
well, because I think it's like that really proper English.
yeah,
kind of like
what-
Shakespearean English.
She's not.
too,
Yeah,
so.
she's used to. It's a second language to her, so
Mhm.
she's used to American English. So British English is. It takes too long. Like she,
Mhm.
you know, when she reads it, she's like, "Oh, I can hear it," but on her own, not reading it, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So Bane, I think we left actually because she was mad. I think it was like my birthday or something when she took me to go see it. I think it was in the dollar movies at the time too, and she was mad about it. And I was like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "What is he saying? I don't get it. This movie doesn't make any sense. I can't understand anything he's saying." I was like, "Oh my god, let's just go. Let's go." Yeah. I'm burned. Have you seen that?
I was molded by a dog.
Have you seen the Bane rap?
The Bane rap? No. I've seen the one where it's like the Batman is dirty or whatever. Dirty, bad Batman. He's like, we fucked a lot. He goes,
Oh, that's college humor.
yeah, that's the call.
Yeah.
You sick fuck. Aw. I was
No,
like, I like that one.
That one's funny because I always make fun of his accent where like college. Do you watch college humor videos?
From time to time, I used to be really big when I was in high school.
Even the first movie that came out, they made fun of his, because he's like, I'm Batman, because it's so like, right, like who could talk like that? So they have the one video where he's trying to find his voice, where he's like, I'm Batman. It's just like making all these random fucking voices, and the guy's hanging up, so he's like, no, that's not good. And then he's like he's lost his voice. Like, I'm Batman. He's like, whoa, that was pretty good. What? This? I'm Batman. There you go, you got it. Oh, here, we're gonna listen to this freestyle real quick.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, Korean. Oh, that's an ad.
Hillshire Farm oven roasted turkey.
Brought to you by
By Hillshire Farm, right.
Nothing but heart.
So if we want free sausage,
Hillshire Farm hit us
results?
up if you want to
Well,
throw us
they
a
speak for
free
themselves.
pound of turkey.
boo.
Who is the one man to have defeated me
Should watch it
in
then.
freestyle?
Because and he has a mask, so it looks like he's still saying it.
Yes, only you.
Oh yeah, that's the
Anyone
Steelers
else care
field.
to challenge me? That's what I thought. DJ, drop a beat.
Oh my
That's
god.
right, Gotham.
On your feet. To the lyrical flow of Bane.
Bane, yes, that's my name. When you hear the name Bane, I guarantee the pain. I'm coming after you, Bruce Wayne. I'm stronger, smarter, clinically insane. I'm Bane, that's my name. Bruce Wayne is the Batman, and totally the same. I broke his back, Mortal Kombat smack. Then I cracked my 28 Krug champagne. Whole life's hip hop.
Jesus Christ.
Gotham City was
Okay, I'll just play that. But then, I don't know why that always cracks me up.
That's perfect.
I'm Bane.
That's
Politically
funny.
insane.
That's my name. That's hilarious. What was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of movies, the Oscars.
Did that come out?
I was like, yeah, the nominations
I
came
thought
out.
it was Grammys. Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't give a fuck about the Grammys. Oh, which, by the way, with that too, which talk about that.
Apparently you do.
I was like, yeah, now I have something with the Grammys. Which I don't really care about, but a lot of people are making noise about it, so I'll bring it up. But real quick, I got a rant about the Oscars. So, if you remember back a few episodes ago, I was really raving about the movie The Disaster Artist with James Franco. James Franco, who won the Golden Globe for Best Actor for portraying Tommy Wiseau in The Disaster
Oh
Artist.
yeah.
He was like James Franco's going to get nominated for the Oscar for Best Actor. This movie, The Disaster Artist, is going to get all this shit because it was such a good movie. After the Golden Globes, James Franco sexually assaulted me. He assaulted me. Yeah, he got accused for multiple women, for assaulting multiple women.
I haven't heard that one yet.
I was like, he declined them. He declined them. He denied them. He goes, no, that's not true. He goes, I'm always very professional, and like he shut it down really fast, which there hasn't been really any buzz anymore since that
Which means that's probably true then.
You know, I was like, so I haven't heard anything as of right now when we're recording. More stuff could come out, who knows? But I feel because a lot of people were pressing him about it, and like he got very no, like I didn't do that kind of stuff. Like he got weird about it because that's a terrible thing to be accused of. Like who else? Like, you know, you wouldn't be all, no, I didn't. Like if someone right away, you raped me, you sexually assaulted me, you'd be a little, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So The Disaster Artist didn't get nothing at the Oscars. Didn't get nominated for nothing.
Okay.
And I'm like, that sucks. Because I know they're not going to say, no, it's just we evaluated all the movies. We felt these are a lot stronger contenders. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. The Academy didn't recognize him because he's in all this heat right now. I was like, that's what sucks.
I'm torn between this. First of all I gotta say is that episode that we did talk about that, the next fucking day, like 6 in the morning, when I took my morning dump, all I had on my feed was the fucking movie.
Because it was a good movie?
No, which is weird, because you know, you fucking talk about shit and Facebook starts
yes,
showing you
that's
stuff.
a weird thing, yes.
I tagged you in it. It was like, I had never heard that movie before, anything.
You tagged me in the one where you did like purple, or like,
Yeah.
Prince.
The next day, I mean, tons of stuff was just popping up about that. And what's the movie called? The
original movie is called The Room.
The Room. Everything about The Room. Him making the weirdest movie of The Room, the making it a pop song, I'm like, I've never even heard about this. We talked about it one night, and all my feed is like all the ads are that. I'm like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that does get crazy from time to time.
Which was actually kind of, but actually at the same time, it was kind of cool because we had talked about it. I was like, oh, now I get it. I know what you're talking about with those scenes that we talked about. And that's okay. So I guess it worked out. Appreciate you, government, FBI.
Right.
Second of all, James Franco, an Oscar nominee, I don't see that, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
I can understand you love the movie, but
from his track record, yes, you wouldn't take him as a serious actor. But no, with this one,
no,
this
I think
one
he's
really
a serious actor. I don't think he's Oscar-winning actor.
For this movie, I say yes. When I think he got nominated for Fly Boys. I was like, Fly Boys wasn't the best.
If the movie itself was already...
The movie itself was amazing, because at the Golden Globes, it got nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
No, I'm talking about The Room, though. The Room itself...
No, The Room didn't get nominated for nothing.
No, I'm just saying, The Room itself, you said, like, in taking acting classes, they talk about it being the worst type of acting, right?
Yeah.
They all study it like that sense. Mm-hmm. And then for someone to make a movie about people making that movie, it can't be that elevated.
Because of how he portrayed. Because of how he portrayed, told the story, how he really brought the behind-the-scenes stuff to life. Because, again, this movie, have you ever heard of this movie until I brought it up?
No.
Exactly. It's like, it's a movie that didn't get a lot of
That's what I'm
notoriety.
saying.
It has a cult following. So with James Franco because of a movie that he's very passionate about, The Room, taking it, telling the story, him doing the writing, directing, the acting in it, bringing Tommy Wiseau's story to a mainstream audience, and the way he portrayed it, because he didn't, even though Tommy Wiseau is a quirky guy, and like it could be looked at as a comedy.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He brought Tommy Wiseau to the Golden Globes with him. And it's like just the way he brought everything and bringing this movie to a whole new light. Now The Room, because of James Franco.
But the thing is, I didn't hear about that movie either, though.
The Disaster Artist? Well, because it technically was like a film festival movie that got a limited release. That got a limited release in theaters.
How could that type of movie get an Oscar, though?
That's all the Oscars are.
Oh,
3
really?
Billboards, film festival movie. And I was like,
I thought they were like just really good movies.
No. A lot of Oscar, they call them like Oscar bait movies. A lot of these movies get Sundance Film Festival releases.
I've heard of that.
Tribeca Film. So these are movies that get released because they're really artistic and stuff, and then they
get Oscars.
They become popular.
Low budget films.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought Oscars was all high class, like the big, Titanic type of stuff.
I don't know. I mean, definitely, yeah, those movies.
Like, okay, here's what I was thinking is like, Hunter S. Thompson, quirky fucking guy. I would attribute, like, if we're making references here, Hunter S. Thompson, what's the Room actor? I don't know.
Tommy Wiseau?
Tommy Wiseau. Hunter S. Thompson, very quirky, crazy kind of guy. Wrote a lot of, cult following stuff that people followed.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp played him in a movie, and to a T. I mean, did him fucking perfectly. And I always forget the name of it now. I used Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He also did Rum Diaries. The same thing. Played him. I mean, to a T. Did a great job. But it's not an Oscar. It's not an Oscar film. He did it great, but no one fucking knows it. I mean, we appreciate it. The fans, the cult following can appreciate it.
Because there's a lot of different things.
No, but you're saying
at.
though the thing is that if it was about the sexual
typically
assault type of things that kept him from it, then that's
because the Golden Globes is TV and movies, and you can look back at every single. If you can compare the Golden Globe nominees and Oscar nominees. All of them are going to be the same movies. Maybe a different actor in the movie, like maybe a different supporting actor nominee. That one person was nominated for the Golden Globe, a different actor gets nominated for the Oscar.
That sucks.
A lot of different, it's like a lot of differences. Still highly accredited awards and stuff, but it's like the fact that this movie won tons of film festival. The Disaster Artist won tons of film festival reviews, awards. Got nominated, won a bunch of Golden Globes. Geared to be Oscar, the number, Oscar worthy everything. Couple little accusations come out about James Franco. Now the Academy says, no, this movie was not good enough. Yeah. When the Academy does both the Oscars and the Golden Globes.
At the same time, I mean, that does show the form of the I don't know, I can't think of the word, I'm going to say government of, the government,
the politics
the politics of it, obviously is flawed, and we've seen that a lot though, because you don't see a lot of Oscar. I mean, we have actors in the states where they were like, why are they not winning Oscars? Because
then you gotta remember too.
But it's all actors are common it's all about who you know, and a lot of actors are like, I'm not even worried about getting this because it's nice to be recognized, but I'm making the money.
It's when you gotta think because a lot of people that just assume, that he was good in that movie, he should be nominated. Because I hate those kind of posts. It's like, they should have won an Oscar for this scene alone. It was something super stupid. It's like, no, you don't get a scene. You don't, just because you shined in one scene doesn't mean, boom, you're nominated for an Oscar. You have to have a strong performance the whole movie. It also has to see how you brought the words to life. Yeah, it has to be all around perfect. That's why they have these different categories. Because you'd be like, this movie really lacked in the acting, but the story itself, the writing, the script was awesome. Here's this, Star Wars. Star Wars never gets nominated for best directing, best, acting, best script or nothing, but it gets nominated for best visual effects, best costume, best sound mixing. It gets nominated for a lot of that technical stuff. Kind of like with the Marvel movies, it gets nominated for best hair and makeup, best da-da-da-da. Kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff. You never see, nominated for best actor, Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man. It's you never see that kind of thing, because it's it's just kind of, you're
they
a
were
comic
already
book
kind
character.
of hyped up as it is.
Exactly. It's you're going to be a cool Iron Man.
The role wears the actor, or the actress, or...
Yeah, so it's with Oscar baited movies is what they call it.
So what do you think about Leonardo DiCaprio? About him not, there was this big uproar about he never won these Oscars.
He should have won for The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Because it's not because he solely really brought Jordan Belfort, the real guy he played, to life. It's just that the acting was just so superb. Leonardo DiCaprio does so amazing when he works with Martin Scorsese as a director. I don't think he should have won Best Actor for The Revenant. Really? I think because The Revenant was boring. And I love Leonardo DiCaprio. I love Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, the director of the movie. He should have won Best Director. He should have won everything for the way he filmed the movie with no lights and sound and stuff. He used all natural lighting, all natural sound, just what the camera can pick up. phenomenal director of Birdman as well, with Michael Keaton. But no, with Leonardo DiCaprio, with The Revenant, because it was 2 hours of him mostly crawling on the ground in snow, screaming and yelling. And for the most part, not even talking. But people were like, oh, he spoke a different language. He's such a good actor. You know how many actors pick up different languages for movie roles? Oh, he was willing to sleep in a real dead horse in that one scene, but they limited him because it's dangerous.
You know what I liked him in? I was about to say wrong, Django. I loved him in Django.
He should have won the Best Supporting Actor for that movie.
I haven't heard that scene where he... the blood, right?
Yeah, he really cut himself, yeah.
He just... And everyone was... That terror that the actress... It was
when you rubbed the blood and everything?
That was really his blood. Like,
it's like, yeah.
Damn, that is some damn good acting.
He's a dedicated actor. I commend him on that. Yeah. But it's like, because he learned a different language... Because he had a cool fight scene in a movie.
To be honest, I feel like The Revenant, because I watched it, I did enjoy it though, but I'm pretty easygoing. I like a lot of movies, so. But I kind of feel like it was just kind of like what do they call it's the company, right, or whatever for the Oscars, where it's like it was kind of due. Like everyone was getting kind of mad about it. Just like, okay, well, this was the next big movie, so just give it to them. Like,
that's how I feel too. It's like they got. Guarantee you the Academy got tired of the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
That's what you say,
yeah, I was like, the Academy was just kind of okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people that are upset that like, because it's not to sound like an elitist or anything. Yeah. It's like out of all his movies, especially his most recent ones, those two being the most recent, Django and Wolf of Wall Street, he gets the Oscar for this? Yeah. For this? Tom Hardy should have won for Best Supporting Actor for The Revenant, because Tom Hardy was great in that movie. He outshined Leonardo DiCaprio as the bad guy. It's like, but no, with Leo in that movie, he could have won it for a different movie.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel is like with the Academy, they're just very, it's like...
James Franco, though, going back to that with the accusations, I don't know where I stand with it. You don't know. That's the thing. I didn't hear about that. I didn't know James Franco was...
Because he shut him down.
You know what I heard about was... Aziz Ansari.
Oh, that one broke my heart.
That one broke... Well, I was already brokenhearted with Louis, right?
Did you read the article about Aziz Ansari?
I did, yeah.
I don't... Because...
Okay, yeah.
Because he went down on her.
Yeah.
And she liked it.
Well...
But that doesn't constitute the consent. But...
Here's the thing. I'm torn. Let the record show... on this podcast, I'm torn. I'm torn between... Here's the thing. On one side, and here's what I would have initially went with, and this is going to be a lot of people will be upset with, I feel like. Initially, she should have just said stop. I'm like, you're a grown-ass woman. Aziz, whatever, he got her back to her place. She was there. She's with a high-profile comedian at his place at night. What else do you expect, right?
They're both drinking.
They're both drinking. He starts going down, or she kind of says the whole, oh, no, not tonight. And he's like, no, let's... I don't know. I've done that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Okay. She decides after the fact that, well, I didn't show complete, full yes, right? Okay, initially I'm like, you should have said no. Mm-hmm. You didn't say no. You didn't stand up for yourself. You're an adult, though. Like, you know what you want. You know what you don't want. You felt awkward. That's not his fault, though. It's a dance.
He can't feel bad if you didn't say anything at that moment. It's like... Because I've also been in those moments, too, where I'm trying to put the moves on. Yeah. I get told, no, I don't... I stop.
The thing is, as a guy, too, the woman... I don't know how this is going to sound, but... The woman kind of fighting back or like making it seem like it's kind of part of the dance. It's kind of like, convince me, right? Like the girl's kind of like, convince me. No, but convince me otherwise. Why do I, right? Okay. So I'm like, if you really didn't want to, say no. On the other side, though, that I have to think about and I can sympathize for and I can see this side. I have to think about it though. It doesn't come naturally. Is that, well, they're conditioned, right? There's this condition of, why can't I go to this guy's house and just have a drink, and there should be no sex that I feel I have to offer him. Why can't I just do that? Yes, you're right. You're right. And I'm stuck in between though. And even in between, if you're in between, he's going down you, and you say stop, or like you feel uncomfortable, you should be able to say, and any kind of uncomfortability. If you're kind of uncomfortable, he should pick up on that. Because I've had that too, though. Actually, where I was, a few inches in, and then she was like, stop. But I'm like, what? And she's like, stop. And she's like, I can't. I'm like, bloop. Like,
Yep.
Are you sure? Like, I was kind of like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I can't. I'm like, okay, well, fuck. Like, we're not going to do it.
Right, whatever.
So, okay. I don't know. You're not there, right? That's the thing. You're not there.
See, my initial instinct, because I love Aziz Ansari more than I love Parks and Rec. I love his stand-up comedy. I love Masters of None. Pretty much love all his work. I just love Aziz Ansari. So I'm reading this article, and I feel attacked on this. I feel like, what do you mean you're accusing my boy of sexual misconduct? So I read that full fucking article, which is a monster in itself to read.
Yeah.
And it's like, so he starts going down on her to put her in the mood. She's enjoying it, saying those kind of things. Oh, like, I don't know.
No, it says that she kind of tries to say not, like she doesn't want to, but
it's like, is she just laying there? No, don't do
no,
it.
actually,
no.
And well, I don't know. We have to pull it up, but I actually think it was. He kept making her jerk him off while
after he went down on her. It's like then he's like, okay, I did something for you. You gotta, you should do something for me. You gotta do something for me. And that's when she was like, I don't know. But she blows him, strokes him.
Right.
She goes to the bathroom.
You know what it was? He was going down her, but he kept putting his thumb in her mouth or something.
Oh yeah, he was
That's what it was. Fingers in her mouth.
That was the part that was making her uncomfortable.
Right.
It's like, but then that's
I don't know. That is kind of weird. But just say like, stop putting your fingers in her mouth. That's what I go to. That's like honestly.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
but then also too, she could have left at any moment.
Yeah.
Which sounds shitty, but it's like she could. Aziz Ansari is not a violent guy.
Right.
And he's not the biggest guy in the world. I don't know. It doesn't say who this chick is. I'm pretty sure she could kick his ass. It's like, walk out.
Yeah.
Walk out. You have a cell phone. You can take Uber. But the first thing she does when she gets in the car, Aziz Ansari, worst date ever. Aziz Ansari did this to me. Da 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 da. Yeah. It's like,
I mean, to be honest, and this might be unpopular, but I feel like for any of these guys, any guy that's in a position of kind of power or money or whatever, as soon as you're into kind of weird stuff, not even weird, putting your fingers in your mouth, I don't know.
That's not super weird.
That's not super weird, but for a random girl to pick up and do that, hey, you can spin that really well, right? And it kind of did. I kind of feel like that's what it was, where she was kind of like, I'm hanging out with Aziz Ansari, and I can sleep with him and just have that idea, but he's being kind of forward with the fingers in my mouth, and yeah, that sounds kind of good, right? Like, right. Aziz Ansari will not put his fingers on my mouth. What a weirdo. And it kind of like, I don't know. That's where I go. Like, that's where I think of it is. I don't want to be like completely biased or like fucking, like, oh, women fucking every
famous person.
There is this aspect of like, you kind of feel like you have to, and that's not cool and all that, but I don't know. You're a grown ass woman.
It's so strange, and it's still so fresh with everything, and it's like it's really hard to. It's funny because there is an SNL sketch this past Saturday that I watched on Sunday, but it's a group of friends, group of couples at a dinner table, and they're like, "Oh, did you hear about Aziz Ansari?" And they go, easy, because that's what I kept thinking about. Because you're like, well, and then like every time they go, my thought, easy.
That's my phrase.
And they all get all. And then there's like, so he's like, I just think, watch it, and they get all sweaty and nervous.
Yeah,
because it's tough, and it's like because. Again, you would hate to hear that your idols, people you look up to, or stars you really respect, are getting in these awkward situations. But at the same time, because think about the fear, like the guy, the Olympic guy the Nassar or whatever. For how many years he's been assaulting women and how many women he assaulted, and the girls were silent for so long. It's like you don't want to silence women for standing up and saying, no, look, this has been tearing up at me for 20-something years, 10 years, even 5 months. It's like, this is what happened to me. This is my story. That whole Time's Up movement, you know, the Me Too movement. Great, powerful movements. Definitely should bring awareness. But I don't... And there's people out there, there's not all of them, there's people out there that are going to take that to exploit, to try to take somebody down. And James Franco even said this briefly. He even said one of the girls that accused him, he feels they accused him because he didn't show interest in her. And so, and that was one of the ones that fizzled out really fast. He was like, no, with her, I had no sexual interest in her, no personal interest in her. She was a colleague on a set, respected her, that was it. Then that chick shut up. And then I was like, oh, damn. So it's like, if James Franco doesn't find you fuckable,
we're all spectators on this. We all are spectators.
Our opinions really don't, like...
And the thing is that you're a monster on either side. That's what's hard, is that no matter what side you pick, it's either you're on the side of Aziz where, well...
He didn't do nothing wrong.
No, you're on the side of Aziz where, but if you're wrong, then Aziz is this high-powered monster that just, you know... shoves his fingernails women's throats, and how many girls has he done it to and pressures them into having sex with him and is nice about it. You know, he's that nice kind of creepy guy where you can't say no, and because he's just being so nice to you, and if you don't, then you can, who knows what'll happen. Or you're on the other side of the girl where it's on her side, but in that aspect too, it's, well, she's exploiting Aziz because he's high powered, and what money could she make, and what popularity is she getting?
Right, she's trying to get hush money.
No matter side you pick, there's this negative connotation with the opposite side of that, and we're all spectators though, and none of us are true except really Aziz and this woman.
Exactly,
and what really happened. So
they're the only ones that know what happened.
Yeah,
and with that, and going back to the Grammys, actually, with this, continuing on this whole women empowering and the Me Too movement and everything, the Grammys were really big, saying they were going to have this whole Me Too movement during the show. Which, and
we've talked about that too.
It was like, because I didn't watch the Grammys because the Royal Rumble was on, and honestly, I could give a fuck about the Grammys because they don't respect metal music, but whatever. But apparently. And me and Leslie were actually talking about this because I was like, what are some things I should, kind of spitballing with Leslie too. And she goes, you should bring up the Grammys. I was like, right. So, for Album of the Year, all the nominees were male except for Lorde, who was a singer. Oh, I'm Lorde, yeah. Her album was nominated for Album of the Year. So, she was the only female, and she was the only nominee that didn't get to perform something off the album, which all the other nominees got to perform. Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, She was the only one that didn't get to perform.
Where the fuck has Lorde been?
She had a couple hot songs earlier, 2017, but I don't listen to Lorde. I don't really fuck with her.
The only one I know is Royals. Yeah. Was that 2017?
I think it was 2015.
Right?
I was like, yeah.
Where the fuck has Lorde been? She got nominated for something?
Yeah, like she came out with a new, because she was a guest
that's why I don't follow this shit, because I watch these shows and I'm like, what the fuck is any of this? I have no idea.
I just know she was a guest on SNL. She was a musical guest this past season. And then she performed her 2 new songs, and I'm like,
do you watch that pretty regularly?
I love SNL, yeah. I watch it every Saturday. Well, I watch it on Sunday, because Saturday, I'm either out doing stuff, but I watch it Sunday morning, because that's like my little ritual or whatever, routine. But yeah, so then that turned into a big old thing. Well, how come Lorde didn't get to perform? And apparently there wasn't that many women winners in the Grammys, and a lot of them was really male-dominated nominations for a lot of stuff, and so after the Grammys were over, a lot of people took to Twitter and Facebook, social media. The Grammys are sexist, So then the president, CEO or whatever of the Grammy Academy, whatever they call it, he said, in a nutshell, I don't have the quote word for word, but he said in his thing that maybe the female artists and stuff should step it up. Should step up their production value, step up their content.
It's a can of worms right there.
It's exactly. So it's like, you fucker. Yeah. It's like, shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
My only thing is just like, it's not that, they're... Because then the thing, too, it was like, well, because Lorde had this big old, album, Azalea Banks had this album, that's, kind of... empowering, Kesha had this, amazing soundtrack, that because of her whole thing with her manager raping her. And it's like, oh, you had these women that had powerful albums and such inspirational things that wrote for so much passion. And you have awards going to Kendrick Lamar that talk about sex and drugs, and which his album doesn't talk about sex and drugs, but whatever. And then, you have, like Bruno Mars that just talk about being rich and flaunting your money and this and that. And it's like, where the respect to the women and da-da-da-da. It's like, I don't know. I was like, it's like, damn. It's like, one, I know, to be honest, mostly because I see it advertised everywhere, I knew mostly of the guy stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't...
Boy, and that's where that comes from, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
And it's like, the only...
It's that whole aspect of women's pay, too, where... it's
easy.
True. No, I mean, it's true. Women get paid less. They really do. But there is still people that don't believe that. And those people also say, well, quit majoring in women's studies. How are you going to get paid 6 figures when your major is in liberal arts, women's studies in Africa or whatever? Like, there's not many jobs for that.
Jesus Christ.
Which...
The easy.
I know. It's just two sides of the coin, though. But I mean, it is true that women are getting paid less, and but some aspect might show, depending on where you look, which is always changing. That's the thing. Your source of where you're getting your sources from is a lot of women getting these liberal arts degrees or whatever. You don't see a lot of women in STEM fields. You don't. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to history too. Well, how are we uplifting her? How are we? We start very early with saying,
do anything you want.
No, we start very early with that's a boy's subject, or that's a man's job, or that's a blah. It starts from home, and it gets into that, and it's very intricate. And I don't know. I could see that. Kesha's song "Prayer." I liked it a lot, actually. I liked it. It's a good song.
I haven't heard it.
But what's funny is that I have a lot of feminist friends on Facebook that she performed at the Grammys. The Grammys were a couple nights ago.
Yeah, this past Sunday. Yeah. Like I said, the Royal Rumble was on, so I was like, I have a higher priority.
Grammys, yeah, and she performed it, and God, it was awful. It was just, I watched it on Facebook, and it was just terrible. And I like the song. I've loved the song. I mean, I've listened to it and been like, could really feel the passion on the radio. Like, I'm like, Kesha, good for you, girl. Like, damn. Mm-hmm. And then you hear her performing it. To me, I mean, this is personal. I'm like, that was horrible. Like, Kesha is not a singer. That's the thing. And my thing was like, if you remember Kesha before this song where she became a big deal, or like
TikTok
this, I'm like, we never liked Kesha for being a singer. She was just a hot white girl that
sing party
all
songs.
The guys figured she's a party girl that we could fuck. That was kind of really the
her image.
That was the image she had.
Yeah.
And now it's different. That's great, and she's come up, but at the same time, she can't really sing. Like, I mean,
I don't know. I've never really cared for Kesha. It sucks that happened to her and everything. I'm glad she got out of contract.
Yeah.
Because I think it's with Warner Brothers, where it was with the studio that was trapped her. Because they trapped Avenged Sevenfold. Now, granted, Avenged Sevenfold didn't get raped by their manager.
Yeah.
But in that sense, I mean, you could look at the sense that they were not letting Avenged Sevenfold have musical creativity in the studio. Yeah. They were kind of limiting them. They were dicking them around with the money. This kind of thing, and then there was going to be a greatest hits album that was going to come out, but Warner Brothers was like, "No, you're not doing it," and so like it took forever for them to get out of their contract with Warner Brothers, and they finally took it to court, and they got the judge to approve to release them from their contract, and they finally came out with their new album. So apparently, Warner Brothers is just a shitty music studio.
I mean, aren't they all fucking shitty?
Yeah, they always dick people over, and so I don't know it. A lot of this stuff is really tough.
Powerful.
I'm gonna I tried to pull up a video of Kesha singing it. It's just horrible.
I was like,
and the thing is that there's two sides of that too. Where like, everyone's like, it was so moving for her to perform. How could you not expect her to be overwhelmed?
No,
at this performance.
I've seen emotional performances of songs.
No.
Like,
the thing is like this was not an overwhelming performance. That's why she's not. Because you can feel that she's not a strong singer. The song played her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the song was... If she had any creativity on that, it's wonderful, but... and very powerful, but she can't sing. The girl can't sing. She's not a singer. She's a hip hop kind of, or like a she's
kind of just a talky type person.
Right. She's a pop artist. She's a pop
clock.
artist. You know, it's catchy stuff.
I've never cared for music to begin with. I was like I said,
I like TikTok.
I was like,
I mean,
I'm a metalhead through and through.
The words I lived by was like, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Got a bottle of Jack, and that's kind of all I remember. But
they coming, bro.
Yeah, that was great. I lived my life by those words for a while. But
no, like I said, I'm a metal guy. I don't like the Grammys anyway because metal really doesn't get recognized. Slayer has a couple Grammys or has a Grammy with a couple nominations,
Tech
but it's
Nine?
like Tech Nine's pretty good.
I always think of Tech Nine because he always says MTV won't play me because I'm too rock. And rock won't accept me because I'm too rap.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah.
And I love Tech Nine. I love a lot. I mean, all of his shit is fucking great. Slacker. I was like, that was my fucking anthem for like the longest time. Caribou.
Tech Nine was the shit.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, man. So, like, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that we had this couple weeks of a break, but we got to get back into it.
It was all you, David. So.
It was me. And I won't get into that, but
last week you wanted to put a cap on it, which that totally changed things. I was like, but I was tired. Wednesdays are rough.
I was like, yeah, because you messaged me first saying, hey, we're going to record, and I was like, I'm sick. We got to go see me and Leslie are going to go see Jay Frenzy. And you're like, okay, cool.
No. Actually,
I just said about Jay Frenzy.
No.
I'll bring up the message right now.
Bring it up.
I was like,
all you said was, hey, we can record tonight, but it's got.
It's got to be a quick one because we're going to see Jay Frenzy.
But it wasn't anything about being sick or.
Yeah, I didn't say I was going to be sick. It was like, I can record tonight, but it can't be super long. We're going to see Jay Frenzy play at Lush.
Right.
Okay, well, if it's easier, we can just reschedule maybe later this week. I got a pretty long day today, so I wouldn't mind.
Right.
Yeah, we can do next week. I just got over the flu and working 8 to 4:30 for property training is fucking me up too.
I opened up for a meeting later in the week, but you said, yeah, we'll meet next week.
Yeah, we can do next week because I just got over the flu and working 8 to 4:30 for property training is fucking me up too.
Yeah.
And you put, Miss Teach got the flu too. All right, we shoot for next week.
Yeah.
You message me, switch recording days to Tuesdays, got to get up early on Thursdays now.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't try to make me look like the bum.
It still was you, though.
It's like, we did this. It said you're active now. I was like, I could have FaceTimed you. But yeah, well, hey, you know what? We came with rapid fire.
Yeah.
No dull moments in this episode.
Nope.
Covered a lot of good topics. So let us know. Let us know shit.
Yeah.
Because we can't see everything. And then by the time we record, we only have a couple topics and we just run with them.
And if you feel a way about anything, let us know. We'll read it. And even if we don't agree, we'll read it and your piece will be made. But that don't mean that we agree. But, you know, if you need us another side of the story, all this aspect, because there's always another side of the story, you gotta make with it what you will. And
maybe there's something you read that we haven't read. Give us links. Notate that shit.
Yeah.
Give us a bibliography. We'll do it.
Or just talk shit. Just rant if you want.
It's like, so, hopefully if we have some new fans listen to the show, which kind of seems to be the trend now each week, so kind of like that. Collectively, I think we're almost at like 200 something views on YouTube, all our videos together.
Wow.
So, that's pretty cool. Episode 1 is almost at 90 views, so... It's like, that's cool. I like that. So, like us on iTunes, subscribe to us, give us 5-star reviews. Even if you listen to one episode, just give it a 5-star. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Just go and do that. You don't have to listen, actually.
It's like, we just want to be number 1 on iTunes just because of reviews. So, I submitted our stuff to Spotify.
Oh, nice.
So, it's a Google form, which I think is very kind of... unprofessional for
unprofessional.
Well, just because it's like, think of how massive a Spotify is, and then it's like, fill out this Google form that anybody could get access to.
What did iTunes have you do?
iTunes, you had to submit it through some website, and then like once you submit it, like it took that while to get back and stuff. This Google form is just like, it's going to take a couple days to get back, but it's like, submit the Google form, okay, and you literally put RSS feed, name of your podcast, where you post the podcast, submit.
Oh,
And it's like, oh, okay.
that would be crazy if we're on Spotify. See, I use Spotify, so to me...
Exactly, so I think
iTunes is kind of lost me because I'm like, I don't use iTunes, so I don't care.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm just trying to find more ways to make
But Spotify would be crazy. If I could listen to ourselves on Spotify...
That would be cool.
Yeah.
We would make it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to also Google into how to put it on Google Play. The Google Play Store, which is like kind of
okay.
iTunes for Android phones.
Right.
So, because that podcast.com, they have there's an app called Podtastic, but the app is so shitty, it crashes a lot. When we had Dwayne on with the last episode and he was trying to play with it and it was just fucking up on him.
It was, yeah.
So, hope with Android, your made up comments that I'm making up in my head are heard. I'm getting you, we should be getting you on Google Play soon so that way you can start listening to it. So at this point, there should be just no excuses. Like, if we're asking you to listen to the show and you don't listen to it, that's how I feel. You're just an asshole. No, I'm just kidding. What's that?
Let's catch it.
That's from the Grammys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like horseshit.
It's what this clip. That clip right there is probably the strongest part of that performance. And if you notice, there's a lot of backup in it. And they didn't show the beginning. And all of these, they're not showing the beginning, which is just
who would dare
so...
try silent.
No, I was like, I don't...
And time's
Like,
up.
none of them are showing the...
Are we going to have to censor this on the actual episode?
The
And I was
abuse
like...
of power.
Did it?
I was like,
was Grammys.
CBS and Kesha?
It was on the Grammys. It was on TV. Do we have to censor?
I was like, CBS produced that show. It's a product of CBS and Kesha owns that song.
Let's worry about it when they send us a letter.
Right. If episode 14 comes down, or the audio just goes blank at the hour and 55-minute mark, just know
Okay,
that we
but
fucked up.
I mean, I watched the full thing online, and now you can't. Now everyone, it's all the things are like the most powerful performance, and they only give you that snippet where it's all this. She has like 50 people behind her singing the chorus, so it drowns her out. Again, I love the song. It's a great song, but God, she can't sing. Like, she just can't sing. Poor thing, Kesha. I mean, it doesn't take anything away from her experience. It's just, she can't sing. The thing is, you can't say that, right? Like on Facebook, you can't be like,
shit,
that
terrible, sucks.
It's funny because I read the comments because a lot of the girls, people were just like, oh, I love the song, but man, that was a horrible performance. And people, I mean, were like, she was so, you could tell the burden she held in her voice through all the pain. How dare you, you're ridiculing her and you don't, you hate women. And
you're supporting rape culture.
Support rape. No, I'm spitting at you now. Sorry. And it's just like, no, that just wasn't good.
And I was like, no,
I support the song, sure. Like,
that
hashtag Me Too all day, every day. Like, that's great, but
that brought no pleasure to my ears.
But she just can't sing. Like, she just can't sing. That's not supporting rape culture. Like,
easy.
Yeah, I know shit, right? Like,
That's...
If you say a woman can't sing, you might as well be raping them right now. Right?
Your dick is also in there.
You're basically raping Kesha right now.
Yeah. And you're a child pornographer and
yeah,
and everything. See, full circle. But on that note, it's like episode 14 in the books. Episode 15 is next week.
Yep.
Yeah,
you know why? Because bitch, you guessed it. What? No, don't do it. No. No, I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin.